palm tops, so they are actually all off. As you can see from entering this morning, there's over 30 exhibition stands, so I would encourage you at break times and lunch times to try and visit them all. In the event of an evacuation or a fire, there are 2 exits at the back of the room, and the restrooms are actually just out to the left-hand side. The purpose of this morning's conference is to highlight the key issues facing the hospitality industry and provide expert knowledge and best practice. Alongside the actual conference, as I mentioned, there are over 30 exhibitors here this morning, suppliers of both products and services to the sector, all with an environmental aspect. It is clear from this morning's turnout from all attendees from varied backgrounds, the issue of environmental and waste management still remains to be one of the most significant challenges facing our industry. In some way, the expert panel here today will present not only local, national, but also international elements in some way to provide a roadmap for the way forward in supporting this challenge for tourism and hospitality. During the conference this morning, we will also see the National Green Failte Awards being presented to over 20 properties, presided over by the Minister of State and Environment and Energy, Mr. Killeen TD. You're very welcome, Minister. The Green Failte Awards is the first environmental awards scheme within the hospitality sector. The award shows your business is committed to the environment through the implementation of an environmental management system, while the property and staff strive to provide best possible environment for customers and community alike, as well as implementing best practice in energy, water and waste management. Your business will also learn how to reduce costs in waste, water and energy. The Green Failte Awards themselves has currently over 100 members within the sector, and further detail will be outlined in one of the sessions later this morning. So without further ado, I'd ask you to sit back and enjoy the day ahead. And to begin this morning's session, I would now like to introduce our guest of honour and the first speaker of the day, Minister of State for the Environment and Energy, Mr. Killeen TD, holding responsibilities within the departments of the Environment, Heritage and Local Government. Before I ask the Minister to speak, it is also worth noting for our delegates here this morning that this conference has been fully carbon offset by Step Green Limited, the first ever conference in Ireland of its kind, due to a number of small key steps taken this morning, such as your conference notes will be issued by USB keys, eliminating the use of paper. Venue has been provided with recycled paper and pencils. The 2 menu options this morning for lunch within 50 kilometres of the hotel provided. Vero is kindly providing maintenance-fed purified water in reusable designer glass bottles in business cards. And finally, hosting this morning's conference in a Green Failte accredited hotel. If I could just kindly ask David Burrows from Step Green Limited to present this certificate to you this morning to the Minister. Thank you.
Thanks very much indeed for the opportunity to speak here with you this morning at the Greening Irish Hospitality event. And I'm very pleased to have the opportunity on behalf of the government to acknowledge the work that all of you and your members are doing to take steps to protect the environment, and also I think to acknowledge the very close relationship there is between the pristine environment that we have most of the time here in Ireland and a successful tourism industry. And many of you will be aware of the findings of research in this area about 80% of visitors to Ireland rate scenery as really important in their choice of location. 74% regard our environment as natural and unspoiled and a factor in their choosing Ireland. 58% consider our cities attractive, and I think that's very important that we try to ensure that they are as attractive as possible. And about 3/4 agree with the statement that Ireland is a clean and environmentally green destination. So I suppose in case we'd be thinking that we don't have a good story to tell, certainly the view of those who are our visitors is very positive indeed. And that's something that we all want to ensure continues to be the case. I think we also acknowledge that our recent economic success, while it's been very positive in so many regards, also has something of a downside, in that it does, of necessity, increase the environmental pressure in a whole lot of ways. And I had the opportunity before I came in to go around and see virtually all of the exhibits. There were 3 or 4 that I missed because people were successfully making sales and I knew that an intervention wouldn't be welcome at that particular point. But I've been pleased to see what's on offer and what's available to all of you to see this morning. And 2 things strike me about it. One, that the quality of the products that's available has improved really dramatically in a very, very short time. In fact, in some ranges, it's improved several-fold within the 10 months that I've had responsibility for environment and energy in the 2 departments. And that's obviously a plus. Also, I think the quality of advice available to people who are making decisions in relation to investment is very, very good indeed. And one of the worries I've had in the department, and it would apply to all sectors as much as your own, is that people would embark on alternative technologies, for example, in the energy area, and spend quite an amount of money, and find that perhaps they got bad advice, there was a better product available or a product more suitable for their own location. And there is very good independent advice available, and there certainly are extraordinarily good products available. And I suppose at this stage, most people have bought in, to some extent at least, to the climate change agenda. Although I'm always a little surprised to discover that there are still a considerable number of agnostics in that regard who refuse to acknowledge all the scientific evidence that there is that climate is changing quite dramatically and that will have impacts obviously in a whole lot of areas. But I don't think anybody at all can argue in relation to sustainability of supply in the energy area and indeed cost. And when the price of a barrel of oil is hovering around $120, and somebody told me that it actually reached that figure this morning, having gone very quickly from around 65 to 70, then clearly there is a cost issue on the energy front. And for you people, energy is a very big outlay and something that you're clearly interested in taking action in relation to. And there were, among the exhibits today, some wonderful ideas, some of which I'd previously encountered, but quite a few that were relatively new. An element of that is the lighting area. Another element is the usage of water. And all of them combined represent an enormous cost for each of your businesses. And in getting into the greening Irish hospitality area and in taking the opportunity to look very closely at what your own experience and your own outlay is, you do have a chance to take a very important step in the area of addressing climate change and reducing carbon emissions. And that's something that we encourage you to do. And even if you have some doubts in that area, you certainly have the advantage of, for your own benefit, very much reducing costs and ensuring that you have energy and lighting and everything else to meet the required standards and at a cost that isn't excessive. I think that's something that's very much to be lauded. I'm very pleased that ultimately the awards, having moved on as undoubtedly they will from the pilot scheme and the Green Failte level, will undoubtedly become a very major national project